We are back with the start of Week 8 on Thursday Night Football. Let's talk a little pigskin. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and it's time to talk some more NFL action. We got Thursday Night Football with the Vikings at the Chargers. We ended Week 7 on Monday Night Football with, go figure, a 2-2 day because we've been right around 500 this whole season, it feels like. So, again, waiting for that hot streak. I know we're going to get some luck here. An injury cost us possibly a 4-0 sweep or maybe a 3-1 day, but we'll go over that in just a second. Quick reminders, NBA Best Bets video for Thursday's huge 2-game slate. That will be out later today. And then NFL game bets, obviously going to be out Thursday night like usual. And then the NFL player props and anytime touchdowns video will be out Friday like usual. And this weekend, we're back to it. That's right. I'll be on the Kyle Kerm Show, 11 a.m. Eastern, for a live show as we break down every single game and are leading right up until kickoff. So if you're not a part of that channel, by the way, go subscribe. Awesome channel. Those guys know what they're talking about. So anyways, let's get right into it, though. And I got a little dad joke for you. So here we go. My girlfriend said, "You act like a detective too much. I want to split up." I said, "That's a great idea. We can cover more ground that way." In this video, we're going to recap Monday Night Football, and then I'm going to talk and give my best bets for Vikings at Chargers, and then I also have one lean that I want to talk about, and of course, we'll finish it with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community we have here. It's a busy time of the year, a lot of sports going on, so let's get it rolling, though, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, a 2-2 day on Monday Night Football. Baker Mayfield, this one was brutal. He still ended with almost 230, but he didn't even have 50 at halftime. It was absolutely bonkers. It didn't help that he lost Mike Evans, carted off with an injury early in the game. So like I said, that injury could have cost us a 3-1, maybe a 4-0 day, but that's football. Sometimes it happens. So obviously no touchdown there. But first half under, it got sweaty, but we cashed it. And then Nick Chubb under 38.5 rush yards. That was not sweaty. Never a doubt. They couldn't run the ball at all. Seahawks continue to dominate on defense against the run. So that's what we got. 57-54 on the year, up 0.22. That's what I'm talking about. We've been right around 500. Waiting to make that just hot streak, that run that we're going to go on. So, again, hopefully it starts here in Week 8. But that's what we got for the recap. Now let's talk Thursday Night Football. All right, Thursday Night Football takes us out to Los Angeles where the Chargers host the Minnesota Vikings. Chargers -3. Total in this one is 44.5. Preview, Chargers have had a lot of injuries. As you guys know, they're coming in losing 3 of their last 4 now on their only win. How about a 2-point win over the Dolphins? They got crushed by the Colts last week. Vikings coming in off a 28-22 loss to the Eagles. They've been up and down, 3-3 this season so far. Injury report, Chargers, running back Haskins, doubtful. Left tackle Joe Alt, questionable. That's a big piece of news. One of the better offensive linemen in the game, obviously. Right tackle Trey Pipkins, also questionable. Safety Elijah Molden, questionable. Vikings, Carson Wentz will be the starter. J.J. McCarthy's not quite ready yet to come back. Running back Aaron Jones, been on the IR all year. He is actually questionable, so something to keep an eye on. It was kind of hard to pick any Jordan Mason props because I don't know what Aaron Jones' role is going to be if he plays. But linebacker Van Ginkel, questionable. Right tackle Brian O'Neill, questionable. And fullback C.J. Turkey is questionable. C.J. Ham. But anyways, let's get into it. I got 2 best bets for this game. And then I also got a lean that we'll talk about after this one. This first one, let's go right back to it. First half under 22.5 plus 100 on FanDuel for a half unit. As you guys know, we cashed the first half under on Monday Night Football. Let's see if we can do it again. So let's talk the numbers. Kind of crazy. Vikings are 5-1 to the under of 22.5 in the first half. So, I mean, they're an under machine. Chargers are 4-3 to the under of this line in the first half. Minnesota's averaging just 10.8 points per game in the first half. Here are their first half points scored because it's really even less. 6, 6, 34, 6, 7, and 6. Now, that was a very fluky, turnover-riddled game where they crushed the Bengals, if you guys remember that 34 points. Other than that, guys, 6, 6, 6, 7, 6. It has been atrocious in the first half for their offense. They have not scored more than 7 yet other than that game. Chargers also only averaging 10.3 points per game in the first half, so both teams start out slow. And here's the crazy stat. Actually, even though Minnesota, because I was looking at the total in the full game here, even though Minnesota's 5-1 to the under in the first half of this line, they're actually 5-1 to the over in the full game. So this is a team where once they come out of halftime, some points start coming in. And then let's just talk the offenses. Chargers struggled lately without their two best offensive linemen, all questionable like we talked about. But LA relies on their passing game quite a bit, 65% pass rate. We'll go over that in the matchup in just a second. But they're down Najee Harris, Amari and Hampton, now Haskins at running back. They average the fourth fewest points per game at home at just 19. So this is not a place where they light up the scoreboard or anything. And then the Vikings been inconsistent offensively this year with two different quarterbacks. Wentz has had his moments, but it's been mostly in the second half of games. He still has a low quarterback rating, but they may get Aaron Jones back. Not a huge deal here. No real identity yet. This team's kind of just up and down as I lose my voice. But defenses, Vikings have one of the best pass defenses in the NFL, giving up just 184 pass yards per game. A big reason for that, they get pressure on the quarterbacks. Third highest pressure rate in the NFL. It's going to be a tougher matchup because the Chargers, the only way they move the ball really is through the air. I think Herbert had like 55 pass attempts last game. And now they have to do that because, well, they're missing maybe two offensive linemen and they're already on their third. Maybe it's called a fourth-string running back. It's been ugly so far. Giants struggled stopping the run lately, but Vikings have struggled, lately running the ball in general. Mason's last 3 games on the ground, 3.6 average, 4 average, and 3.8 yards per carry. So overall, we got two slow starting teams here. Vikings should be able to slow down the Chargers offense. Wentz and the Vikings offense, they've struggled badly in every game but one in the first half so far. So I like to just ride what we've been seeing all season long, and they've combined 9-4 to the under 22.5 in the first half. So let's do it again. Give me the under 22.5 in the first half. That's my first best bet. And the second one, that's right, we're digging deep in this game. Give me Will Reichard, the kicker for the Vikings, over 1.5 field goals made, minus 135 on BetMGM for a half unit here. We haven't done many kicker props this year, but let's talk Reichard this year. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, he is over this line in 5 of 6 games. In fact, he made 5 field goals last week against Philly. He is 13 for 14 on the season. He has made a 59-yarder in one game, a 62-yarder, and another 59-yarder in another game. He's got the accuracy and he's got the distance. And he's also gone over 1.5 field goals in 5 of his last 6 road games dating back to last year. So here's the deal. In the red zone now, the Vikings have struggled. And that's what you like to see when you got field goal props. They've only scored a touchdown on 52.38% of red zone drives. That doesn't count when they're stopped at the 25 or the 30 or anything, which they've been there, obviously, because he's hitting long field goals. But just in the red zone, at least, you've seen it multiple times. They'll move the ball down the field, and then we'll have a sack or, a penalty or something happens, and they're just forced to kick a field goal. So Chargers giving up the 10th most field goal attempts per game at 2.3. In fact, every kicker has hit 2 field goals versus the Chargers this season, except one. It was last week. Badgley only hit one. You know why? Or only attempted one. You know why? Because the Colts just scored 1 million. They scored 38 points on them. They just kept scoring touchdowns. They didn't need field goals. But obviously the Colts offense much better than the Vikings offense when it comes to finishing drives, scoring touchdowns. So with the Chargers defense not playing very well and the Vikings struggling in the red zone, we got a really good kicker here. I like this bet. Give me Reichard over 1.5 field goals made. That is my second and final official best bet for this game. But I got one more lean I want to talk about. All right, my one lean for this game, I haven't made the bet, but honestly, I really do like it. It's Jalen Naylor. That's right, over 15.5 receiving yards. He plays for the Vikings. As you can see by this outlier screenshot, he's over this line in 5 of 6 games this year. I mean, he's just having a good season, under the radar, over easily also in those 5 with 27-plus receiving yards in all 5, making big plays down the field, averaging 13.4 yards per reception. He has a long catch of 17-plus yards in 5 of 6 games. 4-plus targets in 5 straight. So, I mean, we're talking a guy who's, his floor is 4 targets, and we need 16 yards. He's had some big plays, obviously. It should only take 1 or 2 catches to go over this line. I'm surprised we're getting a low line, considering his average is almost at this line. So, again, one of those under-the-radar ones. I know you got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, all that, but we're talking 16 yards here. That's it. So, I like Naylor over 15.5 receiving yards. Again, just a lean. Have not placed it. I may add it in the pinned comments below. We'll see. But just kind of an under-the-radar one I wanted to kind of talk through with you guys. So that's what we got for Thursday Night Football. Before we get out of here, let's check out that recap. All right, there it is. My 2 best bets so far. First half under 22.5 for a half unit. And Will Reichard over 1.5 field goals made. Minus 135 for a half unit. Had to get a little creative. But again, if you just fast forward to that, I also gave out another lean that I may add for this game. We'll see. But thanks again for watching. As always, really appreciate the support. Hit that like button if you haven't already. But hope you have a great Thursday, and we'll talk to you soon.